real quick, the way Todd and I connected is extremely brief. I went to an Ocean meeting. Todd's the founder of Ocean, 7,200 active members in that network. They have monthly mixers in the neighborhood of 150 to 200 people. And I attended one of his meetings, and I call him the next day because I want to talk about his arrangement with that venue, because I'm looking for new venues for our group. And he was just had all this information to help. And then somehow it just came up, look, for as much as you network, do you speak? And he's like, well, yes, I do. And so, funny you should ask. And so, I was looking from day one to have our very first meeting, whatever month it was, on the topic of how to network effectively. So far we've had 4 meetings. And by a show of hands, who has met with someone outside of the group that they met in the group? 2 people. Wonderful. There's a case study for you. Yeah. So that is just it's just one way of networking, but it's relationships, and that is what this chapter is about. Beyond just this chapter, but connecting with people outside. We have some Ocean guests here. Todd is an expert in the field. He is not just about collecting business cards. He's not just about handing out business cards. He's about an actual connection, whether it be email, phone, or in person, and that is why he is such an asset to Ocean, why Ocean is as large as Ocean is, because it's not just a place to just smatter business cards around. Because that is just, that's face-to-face spam is what it is. So if you guys would just welcome Todd, I'm so appreciative that he's here.
Hi. I'd like to thank you all for coming out. And, I can spend an hour here and kind of give you the basics of how to network, but I'm going to sum it up for you. Don't be an idiot. It's really what it boils down to. Thank you. Good night. A lot of people are idiots. A lot of people in this room, don't take it personally, are idiots. I see a couple of heads nodding. Right. One of the little things that we noticed is there's a big crowd of people here. Big crowd of people here for a meeting on how to network. And people are grabbing food and sitting down alone at a table. Just wondering, what were you thinking? You can share food. You don't have to eat off the same plate, but there was an old book years and years and years ago, Never Eat Alone. Some of you are old enough to remember that. Some of you make me feel really, really, really old that I remember that. But really, just take 2 seconds, and rather than sitting here, sit down next to somebody. And I realize that breaks a social mores. It's socially, you're saying, there's this huge room, why would I want to sit next to somebody? I want to give them their personal space. Well, in a room full of strangers, yeah, that makes sense. In a room full of people who are here to network, it makes no sense. These are people who want to meet you, in theory. Now, it's possible that you may be an idiot and they don't want to meet you, but until they've spoken to you, it's a little hard to tell. I guess the first thing we'll start with is the types of networking. There are big groups, like if you come to Ocean. It's this huge, huge room full of people. 150, 200 people in a couple of hours. Will you be able to meet everyone there? No way in heck. I'm trying to keep my language down. It's a state place. But can you meet some of them? Yes. Yes. Good. Then let's do it. If you're in a smaller group, let's say 25, 30, can you meet everyone?
Yes.
Yes. Will you meet everyone? Depends on how much time you've got. If you've got 10 minutes, you better not meet all of those people, because then you're just a spammer, basically, a face-to-face spammer. If you are sitting down one-on-one, can you meet everyone? Hopefully. that or you're really confusing to me, because if you're sitting down across the table from somebody and you're not talking to them, I'm baffled. And different people have different comfort zones. Some people really love one-to-one. You know, you run into somebody, hey, great to meet you, here's who I am, here's, I can spend an hour talking to you, no problems. Other people, that is terrifying. Because if you've got to spend an hour with a person, you can't just pass pleasantries. You've got to actually give them a little bit of yourself. You've got to talk to them about who you are. And that may not be your comfort zone. So fine. Find a place that is your comfort zone to start. If you really just want to spend that couple of minutes, go to a larger event where you can spend 5, 10 minutes with somebody. And I mean that 5 to 10 minutes. Networking, I try to think of as kind of dating. And it's just one of those weird things where when you go to some of these events, you have some people who don't quite look at it that way. They want to get everything now. That's like going on your first date and kind of expecting to get some action at the end of the night. It can happen, but both parties kind of have to be on the same page for that. If you look at it as a longer-term thing, say, hey, the first time I'm meeting somebody, I'm just getting to know you. I'm saying, here's who I am, here's who you are, let's take it from there. If there's a connection, then you go on a second date. You get together for lunch. You get together for breakfast. You say, hey, I'm going out to this event. Are you going to be there? The third date, then maybe you want to make some action happen. You say, hey, I've got this deal I've been working on, and I think you're a good fit for it. Let's see if we can't make something happen. This way you're not so pushy, where you really find that particularly in this market, where you've got people who are in transition, to use the kind term. And I cannot tell you how many times I have been to events where people are handing out their business card with their resume attached. When I see somebody like that, it's, oh look, there's a section of the room that's just not near him. And it's not just the help me find a job, help me find a job, help me find a job. It's, ooh, I want to sell you something. Or, ooh, I've got a business deal. Or, ooh, I'm this. Or, ooh, I'm that. And what can you do for me today? And most people find that sort of a person to be what? An idiot. Think about it. Would you want to have 100 people come up to you, say, do this for me now? Probably not. One is not too bad. And that's the mindset that these people are. Well, I'm just one person asking for a favor. I'm just one person asking for this or that or the other thing. But you're probably not meeting just one person. Most of the time you're meeting a couple of people or hundreds of people over the course of a week or the course of a month or the course of a year. If you're me, where I've got this insane network of about 25,000 people, and I average about 100 emails a day coming in from my network, yeah, I can have 100 people on any given day saying, help me find a job. Well, I'd love to, but I've got a job. I have to do that job. I also have to sleep and maybe say hello to my wife at some point and pet the cat and, oh God, feed the cat, because I abused my cat.